we tell Zohran Mamdani, you can go back to Uganda to where you came from.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's been a while since we have talked about New York City or the socialist mayor Zohran Mamdani, because what we're seeing right now, we're seeing something completely unprecedented, because the citizens of New York, they're coming out protesting against Zohran Mamdani, who's completely destroying the city. And the citizens are pretty upset over his policies. And we now have a lot of people regretting voting for Zohran Mamdani. But let's get into it, starting with this video of Zohran Mamdani threatening the citizens of New York, telling them if they own a home or if they are a landlord, the government will come and take their property. You just cannot make this stuff up. Play clip.
Through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits, or even the tenants themselves.
So you heard that correctly. That is Zohran Mamdani making it crystal clear that if you live in New York City and you own a home, or if you're a landlord, if you worked your ass off over your career to build a business or to buy a house, and you're renting that property to someone, Zohran Mamdani is making it crystal clear that if the government see you as a negligent landlord or a homeowner, what they're going to do, they're going to come and take your property and give that property to a nonprofit or the tenant themselves. And if you had showed me this clip 2 years ago, I would tell you that this is not happening in America. This would never happen. But this is happening in real time. Especially considering the fact that Zohran Mamdani, he never had a job. He migrated from Uganda, never had a job, and then he became mayor. But yet he's leading one of the wealthiest cities, one of the biggest cities in America, and he's destroying that city. And here we have a video of Vicky Palladino, a New York City councilwoman, completely digging into Zohran Mamdani over these policies. Play clip.
It was known as COPA. They renamed it. And let's also go over something else. We have city-owned properties called NYC. They are the worst landlords that the city could ever ask for. But the most detrimental thing is they want to take this and fund this all through non-for-profits. Once the non-for-profits take over these buildings, this is multi-billion-dollar stuff we're talking about. We're talking about the New York City buildings. I mean, can you imagine? This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But what I really want to see now, Sandra, this is going to be a real test and a real testimonial to see who stands up in my city council against this, okay? Is my speaker of the city council going to do her job and realize this is a detriment, this will kill our city? Is she going to do her job and get everybody, the way they did when Eric Adams was in office? You know, when Eric Adams was in office, they found every little thing to knock him about. Now we've got this guy who's a straight up communist pushing this forward, and I want to know, what are you going to do about it, my?
That was Vicky Palladino, a Republican councilwoman, making it clear how ridiculous Zohran Mamdani, his policies are. Because at the end of the day, what they're planning to do, they're planning to take people's properties that people work years for, decades. They're planning to take those properties and give it to someone else. This is communist behavior happening in New York City. And his policies are getting so bad, we're talking about Zohran Mamdani, where his voters are now coming out and regretting voting for him. And here we have a video of a voter pretty much said they voted for Zohran Mamdani, and right now he's regretting his vote. Play clip.
Do you think Mamdani voters are happy with what they voted for?
I think at this point, the majority of us are starting to realize there was a lot of smoking mirrors.
Did you vote for him?
I did.
Really? And now you're at a protest for him. So what changed? Like, what did you see that made you go, I don't support this anymore?
I basically see the truth, what everybody else sees. He had an opportunity, and clearly he did not follow up with anything that I thought that he promised with. First of all, justice security for like religious places has been completely obsolete, and some kind of a bogus of like grocery stores and free. It's nonsense. We know it is. It's all basically just basic marketing. Free buses, really?
That was a New York City voter realizing that Zohran Mamdani, when he voted for Zohran Mamdani told him a pile of you know what. But at the same time, I do not feel sorry for him or anyone that voted for Zohran Mamdani, because when someone comes to you and tell you that they have a whole bunch of free stuff, I would recommend not believing them, especially when it's the government. Nothing is ever really free. And the question is, who's going to have to pay for all these different things that Zohran Mamdani is trying to offer to people? Because we know Zohran Mamdani, he ran on giving the people free bus rides, free grocery stores, and all these different things. And none of these things have manifested as of yet. And right now, what he's talking about taxing the rich. And a lot of people, we're talking about people with billions of dollars, they're now fleeing New York. And who's now fleeing? They're now speaking out against Zohran Mamdani and his socialist policies. And here we have Jeff Bezos torching Zohran Mamdani over his policies. Play clip.
I don't pay taxes. So true. I pay billions of dollars in taxes. And it's a perfect, again, if people want me to pay more billions, right, then let's have that debate. But don't pretend, you know, that's going to solve the problem. You could double the taxes I pay, and it's not going to help that teacher in Queens. I promise you. So you can't connect those two things, not logically. You know, there are more examples. Why is rent expensive? Why is rent so expensive? I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention.
I agree with Bezos, even though he's a liberal, and you know it's bad when a fellow liberal like Jeff Bezos is coming out and speaking out against your policies. Because one of the reasons why New York City and the surrounding areas they're experiencing this high cost of living is because of government intervention. But Zohran Mamdani thinks that the best way to fix these issues is for more government intervention, like taking people's properties, which is why so many New Yorkers went out the other day to protest against Zohran Mamdani, and here we have that reporting to show you. Play clip.
We were very pleasantly surprised, and this is just the beginning, by the way. How many people showed up? Over 1,000 people showed up on the street, Jews, Christians, Muslims, black, white, to come together to say enough is enough. We are against this extremism. We are against the radicalization.
As you can see, based on the reporting, everyone from all different backgrounds showed up to protest Zohran Mamdani, people that are Christians, Muslims, Jews, each different background showed up to protest Zohran Mamdani and his extremist policies. And the reason is simple, because people are frustrated because Zohran Mamdani lied to the people of New York. He said he was going to give them free things. He failed. And right now what he's doing, he's threatening to take people's properties. Crime is on the rise. Taxes are about to go up for hardworking people. And if you go to New York City, the city is barely recognizable, like this street that I'm going to show you, Canal Street, where if you go to Canal Street, it's like you're in a completely different country. It's like you're in a third world country. Play clip. It is insane to think about what's happening in New York City ever since Zohran Mamdani took over. And sometimes you have to ask your question, is this by design? Because what you're seeing right here, this is not in South America. This is not in Iraq or the Middle East. This is not in Africa. This is New York City that we're talking about. This is in America. And the city is barely recognizable at this point.
عيد مبارك عيد مبارك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
Eid Mubarak, everyone. Eid Mubarak. Thank you all. Everyone, my name is Alexandria.
And that brings us to the end of today's video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Also, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.